change. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Heard you get into it. Well, let's talk about it. All day in the bank. Let's talk about it. Spend a few checks talking cheap change. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hello, ladies. Good evening. And welcome everybody to the Ladies Room Live.
Hey, everybody.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you guys could spend some time with us tonight. Welcome to everybody out there who might be listening, might be watching. My name is Teri Denine, author, playwright, content creator, and these are my friends that I decided to bring together to talk about some serious issues that, you know, we really want to explore the misnomers that surround women of color. So we're going to kick it off tonight. I'll tell you what our topics are going to be, but before we do that, we want to talk about what cocktails we're drinking tonight. Raise your glasses. I know you guys are with me tonight. Come on now.
Yeah, vodka and orange juice. With the wine. Plain as
I have a watermelon. What is it called?
Vodka.
Yeah.
Oh, I know where you are. That sounds good, Leora.
A watermelon. It looks good.
That sounds really good. That sounds really good. So I hope you guys, I trust that you all had a great holiday. I know it may have been a little different for some of us. We'll talk about that later. But for now, I want you guys to know tonight's show's topic is going to be, we're going to talk about this whole holiday spirit, the upcoming holiday, and how we're coping with it. And we're going to talk about the whole COVID-19 vaccines that are quickly, coming upon us. And then we'll talk about shady ass women. That's always a hot topic. It's something that we've been talking about and something that I know that we definitely have to do some work on. We'll get into that later. But for now, Jackie, why don't you set us off? Why don't we talk about this whole freaking pandemic and the mess that we're in right now, all within the upcoming holidays and all the great stuff that's supposed to be happening.
I know. We have to just stay positive. We don't have any control over this thing. We just have to stay safe, like they've already been saying, and just keep a positive outlook on everything. What my family has done and what we've been doing since the beginning of this pandemic is we've been meeting on Zoom regularly.
Oh, nice.
So it's been really, it hasn't been too bad of a thing when Thanksgiving came around, because we were able to get on Zoom and we stayed on there for an hour and everybody talked and we caught up with, everything that's going on with each other. And I also got to see my Aunt Mary, who's 107 years old.
Oh, wow.
And she was so happy to see everybody, because that was her first time on Zoom.
I want to know who helped her. I want to know who helped her on Zoom, because I'm trying to get my mom to do it.
Well, my mom's oldest sister, she goes over there like every week to give her medications and everything that she needs, because she has a home health person helping. She has two actually, so they alternate and they're there every day. So my aunt, she went over there and she set up the Zoom session, and she got to see everybody, and it just like brightened up her day. So we're gonna do that again on Christmas, for the Christmas holiday.
Very nice.
So we'll be able to see her again.
That's really.
But so how is everybody else coping with the upcoming holiday? What are you gonna be doing with your family?
Well, first of all, who taught your aunt to use Zoom? Because we taught my mom to use Zoom, and my mom's like, "You don't know how I look." She
my aunt, my oldest, my mom's oldest sister, she's she's very involved in the church and everything like that. So she's always on Zoom because she has church meetings and stuff like that. So she has a Zoom account. So she's always on there. So she went over to my Aunt Mary's house and she was able to set that Zoom session up. And so everybody was able to see Aunt Mary. So so that's how that happened.
Nice. Very nice.
I started doing with the pandemic, I started doing a family bingo. And so my mom's down in Florida. I've got some cousins and aunts and uncles in Florida and in Philly and, all over the place, my brother. And so we've been getting together and we Zoom, obviously, and we play bingo. And it is so much fun. And we've been having a really good time. So we did that for Thanksgiving too. We just had a little bingo.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
it's
play
fun.
games. Yeah, my family, we play games too. We played Family Feud, we played Wheel of Fortune, we did bingo, we did the virtual bingo. So we played like 3 different games. So
that's
we
really nice.
usually try to meet like at least every other month. We'll try to meet.
Oh, that's really nice to have a plan.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, we thought about doing a virtual Thanksgiving as well, but there's so freaking many of us to coordinate. That would have been crazy.
You can do it. You can do it.
How many family? Like there's so many.
Yeah, everybody can get on the screen. I mean, whoever's in the household, they'll just get in the picture. They'll just be there. So I mean, everybody can get on. You can have several people on Zoom.
Yeah,
I mean, you can have up to 50 people. I think
you could have up to 100 people on Zoom.
Yeah, you can be like you can have up to 100 people.
Yeah,
Stop making excuses. He says I need to stop making excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Just send your Evite. Send your Evite to everybody and you'll be good.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody will log on, set it for an hour or however long you want to have it, and then people just come on and you get on there, talk, you can even make a game out of it.
Yeah.
You can do a scavenger hunt game. Why don't you try something like that? A scavenger hunt game. So you can do it like this. Let me give you a suggestion. You have a list of items, and then you call out the item. Say like, okay, bobby pin. Everybody run and go get a bobby pin. Bring it back to the screen.
Nice.
A little game.
Oh, that is fun. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That does sound fun.
I like that. I'm gonna steal that one. I'm gonna steal that one.
Now that really sounds fun. That really sounds fun. What about you, Leora? How'd you spend your Thanksgiving? What adjustments did you have to make?
Well, it's just me and my husband, and then I did a Facebook Messenger video call with my parents and my brothers, and we just hung out for a couple of hours, just talking and chatting, talking about food, all kinds of stuff, playing with those filters and stuff like that. So it was good. It was comforting because I wanted to really see my parents this year, and but they're in Mississippi right now, and with the whole quarantine thing, the way it's set up in New Jersey, when you come back, I would have to quarantine for like 14 days.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't go, especially I don't want to risk my parents' health, and especially my dad. My dad had heart surgery a few years ago, so I don't want to like risk their health or anything like that. So it was nice, and it was nice to hang out with my brothers and stuff like that. So it was good. It was good.
I think we're so lucky that we live in this time of technology because, although we can't spend time together physically like maybe we normally do, I think Zoom is amazing. And we get to see everyone. So,
yeah. Can you imagine if we didn't have this kind of technology? What would we be doing?
Right.
I know what we wouldn't be doing is, I lost my brother back in April of this year. And we could not go to see him in Atlanta. We had to have a virtual funeral. Like, could you imagine that?
Wow.
And if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't.
I've been to a few. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you didn't have the virtual option, you wouldn't even be able to have the funeral.
Can imagine.
Right.
We only have our memories of whatever we had. So
Right.
Yeah. But it's a lot. It's been a lot. And I'll be honest, when you talk about how we're coping, I like to think that I've been coping very well. I like to think, I'm this strong person. I got this, but I think I'm a little effed up. Like, as I think about it, I'm thinking it's affecting me.
How?
I'm working from home. I have very little interaction with people. Like, it's.
Well, I mean, that's been going on since March.
And I've been home since March.
Terry, you can call me.
Listen, I talk to people all day, every day. That's not a problem.
Okay.
I need to.
Yeah, me too.
A million phone calls, but I'm saying in terms of having like human contact,
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
a little limited. I haven't seen my mom I haven't seen my mom since around March or maybe February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been like a year since I've seen my mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been
It's
it's been
been
a
a year
while.
too.
yeah.
But
So
I mean,
I think I've been unaffected, and I've been saying I'm good, but I'm thinking I'm not so good.
Terry, we
you'll
can
be
get
okay.
Well, you know,
Terry,
the tough thing is like around this time of year in particular, most people's, you know, even when there's no pandemic, people do go through some level of depression or anxiety and things like that. And I think that the pandemic really magnified all of that. It is sort of multiply it. Well, people are drinking more. More people are doing drugs. There's this commercial that comes on every time I get
Hello.
asking, "Are you drinking more than usual?" And I'm like,
oh,
Wait a minute.
"No, ma'am."
Yeah.
thing.
Drink.
But, you know, but it's
Yeah.
hard. And like for me, this is my first year, my first holiday season away from my family. Like 28 years with, with the tree, everything was done at my house. For Thanksgiving, I cooked for like 20, 30 people every year for 28 years. And so this year I had to cook for 2 people. And it was like the coolest thing I've ever experienced.
yes.
See, it wasn't so bad. See,
And I didn't go to the supermarket, period. I ordered from the New York Steak and Seafood Company, and we had filet mignon and lobster tail, shrimp, barbecue shrimp, twice baked potato, salad, a wet salad, and all that stuff. But I ordered all that stuff. I didn't leave my house. And it was very peaceful and calming. At first I was like a little anxious about it because I'm used to all of that. But
Right.
I noticed too, in the previous years, I used to be sick this time of year. Every
never
single
knew
year.
that.
I think it was the anxiety that was doing that to me.
Mhm.
So, it's sort of you try to make the best of it, but it really worked out well for me this year. But this is another story. I actually put up a tree, and I am not a girly girl at all. And my tree is pink and gold. So I'm really great. Where is it?
I can see the tree.
oh my God.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Aw,
Yeah.
that looks so pretty.
That's
I
not
love
the thing.
it.
Like I'm more like, rough and tumbly. But I said, you know what? New memories, create new shit. Whatever I did before it's been done, and now I'm moving on. So and it helped me because I was like, oh God, here comes the holidays. I've been shopping. I started wrapping gifts. I'm having a great time. My family's
Good.
happy this year, every year. Like I everything is being delivered. I have boxes. You can't see it, but piled up from deliveries. Because but I said I'm not gonna let this pandemic, my new normal. I'm not gonna let that break me because I love these holidays.
Yeah, that's good that you keep you keep it in good spirits and everything. I was just laughing. Well, everybody was laughing at me and my mom because that's what we have for Thanksgiving dinner. You never gonna guess. I didn't cook the turkey. I didn't
But
cook
you
the
have
turkey.
like family?
We had Hungry Man dinners.
No, you could not. No, you could not.
We had the Hungry Man dinners. You had the turkey. Honey, I had the turkey.
It's really good.
I had the mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
and I had the little the little vegetables, the mixed vegetables. I bought two of them. It was on sale, 2 for $7. And my mother, she went and got some too. She went and got 2. So I had my turkey for Thanksgiving and the next day.
Yeah,
I want to have my turkey the next day. So that's what we did.
Oh my goodness.
And people
Oh
were
my
laughing at
God.
it. We were telling, I was telling the family, everybody was laughing. But check this out, honey. I put that thing in the microwave and took it out the tray and put it on a plate, and it looked really good. It really did look good. And I made a macaroni and cheese, so I put a little macaroni and cheese on that plate. And I baked a sweet potato pie. So I had some extra dessert. You just gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make it happen.
That is hilarious. Oh my goodness.
This is how it's normal.
Everybody was laughing. They were like, "Well, how was your Hungry Man dinner?" I was like, "It was good." And I asked my mom, "How was yours?" She was like, "It was delicious."
Hey Jackie, I gotta know. Did you have cranberry sauce?
I didn't have the cranberry sauce, but the Hungry Man dinner, it came with the apple cranberry little, the little dessert that was in
Oh,
there.
that's right.
I
Yeah, with the
already
little
had that.
dessert.
So
Okay.
yeah, I had my cranberry.
You're
Hey,
covered.
That's a good idea, actually. Because those dinners are tasty. I don't care what
they
anybody
are.
says. It's pretty
And it
good.
tasted good. I mean, you had mayo.
It was
Like
like
it had the little stuffing in there, and you
Yeah.
had gravy. It was good. It
You
was.
can put a little
That's all
salad
I
in
did.
and everything.
I have never had a Hungry Man dinner in my life, so this is particularly funny to
Me
me.
either. Me either.
It was good.
What does that even taste like?
I was like, there ain't no way I'm making no turkey. It's just me, myself, and I. I'm not making no turkey. I'm not even making a whole chicken.
Jackie, honest to God, I don't eat meat, but I'm gonna get me a Hungry Man turkey dinner. I gotta know the experience.
Right, I'm telling you. If we in the same position next year, Thanksgiving, that's gonna be on your menu.
Well,
There
yeah,
you go.
Christmas is coming.
True.
I mean, hey,
Wow. Interesting. But I don't know. I don't know. It's like, when are we gonna be able to get back to some semblance of normalcy? And I wonder what is that even going to look like when we do call it normal? So I don't know, Leo. You want to talk about this freaking? I don't know.
vaccine.
Vaccine.
Yeah, like,
Oh my God. Don't even get me started on this vaccine. Like I don't want to say scared, but I'm just like, they're like, oh, well, it's a 95%, success rate and all this other stuff, but it's just too fast for me. I just don't know. I don't know. And they're like, oh, are you going to take the vaccine? I'm like, y'all not putting that in me. I'm getting Tuskegee. What's the project?
Yep.
The Tuskegee.
Oh, Tuskegee experiment. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Those are definitely the vibes.
Yeah, I'm getting those kind of vibes. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait for y'all to take it, and then y'all let me know. I actually have a Facebook friend I was talking about it on my personal blog page, and she was saying that she was a part of the trial. And I was like, well, how was that? Talk about that. And she said, it was fine. It was a paid trial for her. And she said she didn't have
like $700, some of those trials.
Yeah, so she didn't say how much she got paid, but it was a paid trial. And she said she didn't have like any side effects or anything like that, like no issues or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna let y'all try it on some more people first though. Because
You might have gotten the placebo.
yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, I'm gonna see how this pans out, because if people start dropping dead, I don't want to be in that number. So,
or if you participated in the trial and you suffered from loose bowels,
right,
Hair loss, diarrhea.
Call the law firm of Siegel and Lax. Like, no, hell no. No one thinking.
They just have so many different like clinical trials. Like they're in phase 3 right now, as of November 24th. They're in like phase 3, and there's like different. I didn't know there are like different types. Like there's like 5 different types. I can't name them off head, but like it's crazy. So they're testing like all these different vaccines on people, and like the trials are going to continue. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'll let you guys perfect that first. And even then, I don't know if I'm letting you stick some needle in me with some crack or whatever's in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm scared too. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm nervous, very nervous. And then I was hearing that there might be 2 injections that you have to take. It's like 2 doses.
After 3 months,
Like you get the one shot, and then 28 days later you get the second shot. Like, I don't even want to go get the first shot.
That's the scary part. That's the scary part.
Do you think I saw Obama's going to come on, and he said he'll take his, and I think Bush and I don't know who else said they're going to take it
Clinton.
publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's going to encourage other people to do it?
No, ma'am.
It's not going to encourage me.
No.
I don't care. But I'm just
probably
wondering.
getting water. They're probably getting some water droplets or something.
Right. or they'll get what Trump got, and who knows what they really got.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't want it. No thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, how do you know
Politicians.
what you're gonna get? And then if they have so many different types of vaccines, like Pfizer is making one, and then Moderna and AstraZeneca is making
Yes,
one. Which one do you get? Which
exactly.
one are you going to get?
Well, I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
Pfizer. I think I like Pfizer because they didn't get involved in that Project Warp Speed that Trump was kind of, championing or kind of started up. And because when you say warp speed, that doesn't really make me feel very healthy or comfortable.
No,
Either.
not at all.
I don't know the difference
Well,
between any of them.
Pfizer said they didn't want to be involved with what the government was doing because they didn't want to be pressured or having to align with what the government wanted them to do. They wanted to do the right thing with what they normally do, going through all the normal channels. And so, but the only thing I didn't like about Pfizer is that one day they were 90% or something like that. And then when Moderna came out and said they were 94, then a day later, Pfizer came back and said, oh, we're at 95%.
Right. See, it's like a competition, and
Yeah.
I know with my life.
Well,
Yeah.
I can tell you, I have a somewhat different. I don't know. I've been on the fence about this vaccine for a while, but I'm looking at it two ways. The first thing is like if you give us this, I'm afraid of the vaccine itself only because, like the flu vaccine, they're going to inject some level of this virus into your body. To me, that's like, you meet a guy that has genital herpes. I'm sorry, ladies, but I got to go.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, what?
What?
Where are you going?
Listen.
Where are you going with this?
Listen. So, okay, let me back up.
I need a drink for this one. Where are you going?
Hold on, let me back up a little bit. Now, let me back up a little bit. So, let's say you run from this thing all your life. You run from, say, genital herpes, right? From the time you heard of it, right? So, you run from this thing, right? So, finally, you meet a dude and he has it. He's got it. And he's like, okay, Teri, we're gonna talk about how we can manage this relationship with herpes. So now the thing I ran from, now I got to sit here and deal with it with you. So I look at it like I'm running from COVID-19 like hell, but now I'm going to sit still, let them literally put it into my arm, and only God knows. I know that it's going to be uncomfortable is what they're saying. It's going to be uncomfortable. And then I have to come back and do it again. And so my whole thing is, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence because I'm afraid of the virus, deadly afraid of it. But also, it's like if we don't take the vaccine, what do we think is going to happen? And I get it. It's going to happen in phases. And some of us are going to be able to, wait until you see who else drops like flies from it. But
or not.
Right.
Hopefully not. But I'm just saying that to say that I think that we all need to. And honestly, I think we're going to have to make ourselves okay with getting it. Because what if they make it a mandate? What if from now on you have to carry?
They can just kill me because you're not putting
Well,
that.
no, they can't.
No.
Let's say they make it a mandate. And then you have to carry a card. So you're going to get a particular job. You have to show that you're vaccinated. If you want to travel, you have to show that you're vaccinated. What if they do that?
So are we in Antichrist times or whatever now? Because that's what that sounds like.
Yeah, you got your freedom papers, like
It's sort of like that now for kids. If you're not vaccinated, they can't go to school.
Right.
So now they just escalated to include adults. And I think that if we all will probably end up taking it at the very end of the day if it's mandated, and if we can really get back to some type of normal life, and we get out of that house and breathe, just go outside. I might consider it like in July or August or September or October of next year.
2022.
Notice how far back I'm pushing it.
2022.
But one thing that I do, like one of the things that's like real for me, like I've always, like I listen to a lot of these, people talk about different vaccines, and I know with like autism, for instance, a lot of parents, not just a lot, but some parents have attributed that I don't want to say disease or that situation to vaccines. So I wonder how true, how true that is, or if there's any, and it seems like the government, everybody just said, no, that's not it. Get your kid tested and get your kid vaccinated anyway. But it's like, what if that vaccination did cause autism? And like, I think about, like, I know a lot of friends and people who have kids or nephews or relatives that are between the ages of like 20 and maybe almost 40, maybe like 25, 30, almost 40, who have mental illness.
Yep.
And it's mostly men, mostly males. So then I start thinking, gosh, what if it has something to do with vaccines that they were trying 30 years, 35, 40 years ago? And now all these young boys are having the side effects of that, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, things like that. Because it's uncanny the number of people that I know with young males, Black, I'll say, I don't know about other races, but Black males that are suffering from some type of mental disability. And I swear to God, there's something in me that's saying it has something to do with those vaccines.
Yeah. And Pam,
so that's a fear. I am very concerned about that.
It's real fair. And we've had that conversation. And true enough, I too know a bunch of people that, oh, my son is a loser. Not a loser, people don't say that, but I mean, they don't say those words, but they kind of say, my son, we should get his life together. He's 38. In that same age group that you named, Pamela, I have friends that have sons that they have issues, and they call it bipolar disorder. They call it, all sorts of
schizoid affective disorder.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
I think that, you know what? And I should do some digging, because I bet you somewhere in the world there's some study that's been done about it by now. Because true enough, those men by now are, I would say, up to age 38, 39. That's what I've observed.
Yeah, maybe 40.
But I would say, as far as this vaccine, and I understand our fears, I understand about the whole Tuskegee thing, I understand about the whole syphilis, that thing, and I know how they experiment on us, and they've done it for years, and I don't know that this is any different now. But I'm just saying, like, under this circumstance, as far as this COVID-19 is concerned, I don't think they had enough time to make a vaccine for the Blacks and then another vaccine that's going to work for the rest.
Well, Teri, you go take it and you let us know how that goes. You let us know how that goes.
And then my thing is, okay, so if we do get this vaccine, how long does it last? Do you have to get it every 3 months, every 6 months? Like, is it going to cover you for a whole year? Like, how often do you have to go get this shot?
Right.
That's the question that I have.
It's going to be free. That's another thing. Like, how much is going to cost? Because they talk about the cost for these vaccines, and somehow or another it's going to trickle down to us some way or another.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I would assume it's covered by insurance, but I hear you. It
So
will
many
be
people are
somehow
losing
trickle down.
insurance because they don't even have jobs.
Yeah.
Right, it should be free. I mean, when you get the flu shot, don't you just get that free? That's not something that you have to pay for, right? Because I never had the flu shot.
I never had it.
I never had it.
You guys don't get a flu shot? I get one every year.
Are you kidding? Now,
I bet you do, Lene.
You don't get a flu shot?
Lene,
No.
So Lene,
I never had the flu, and I've never had the flu shot.
So wait a second, Lene. So Lene, why are you okay with getting a flu shot and not the COVID-19 shot?
Because the COVID-19 hasn't been proven. It hasn't. They just developed
We don't know about it.
and I know, and so I need some time. So the Brits, I know they're taking it. They just started allowing it. I think they're going to be taking it first. So I need somebody else to take it first to see if there are any side effects or to see what the long-term, problems are. But and then I'll take it. I don't have a problem taking it as long as it's proven. But I think it's just been too fast, and I don't think that we don't know what the side effects are. We don't know what the side effects are.
The side effects, like the
or the long term, long term effects.
Right. Yeah. And that's the hard thing. We'll never know. I mean, we won't know until that time comes. But are we willing to really wait it out? And if like Teri said, if you can't fly, you can't do certain things. You can't. You have to walk around with that card. Then what are you going to do?
To take it. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Right. Correct.
And
I can't believe you guys don't get a flu shot. I'm sorry.
Well, Nate, I have not had a flu shot. I have not had a flu shot since I was in the military, and that was 4 years ago. And the last
You
time
had one before, right?
the last time they did give me one of those the mist, and they squirted it up my nose, I went right outside and I blew that shit out my nose. Okay. Okay. Have a blessed day. And
I've never had the flu. I'm like,
the one time I got the flu, the one time I got the flu was because I got the flu shot. Okay. So
that's why I don't want to get it. That's
See,
why I don't want to get it. Because
That's
you got
exactly
the flu shot, but then you ended up getting the flu.
That's
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, that's when you're not getting the COVID. Like, what the fuck are you going on the ventilator and all that shit? Like, I'm not willing to take that risk right now. I don't want. The worst feeling in the world is not being anybody who has asthma. Teri, you know, the worst feeling in the world is not knowing if you're going to be able to get that next breath. I don't want to go through that, not voluntarily. You know, I have an asthma attack. I deal with that, but this, like, no, it's too much.
Yeah. Well, Sharice wants to know. Sharice on Facebook wants to know what's the big deal with the flu shot. What's the big deal? Like,
That's what I want to know. Why don't y'all get it?
I'm
Why
just
don't y'all
not
get it?
Lene,
I'm
Lene,
scared
you
to get
find
that.
us a way. You
I
find us a way.
I wonder if she got the flu shot. This Sharice.
Probably was not.
But Leora
You know what? I'm
just
gonna
said she
tell
went and
you,
got the
the
flu
year
shot
I
and ended up sick.
The year I did not get my flu shot, I'm going to tell you, the year I did not get my flu shot, I got the flu. And it was horrible. And I said, never again. I get the flu shot. My kids get the flu shot. I've always done it. I've had the flu
You know
before.
what?
And
They say that it doesn't. They say it doesn't prevent it, but it's like if you get it, it'll be a milder form.
It's the lesser, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, the year I did not get the flu shot, I caught the flu.
Wow.
And it was horrible.
Maybe because your body goes a certain, I don't know. I wonder if it's because your body's used to it.
Lene,
maybe used to it.
Lene, that's because your scary ass been getting it every year.
See, I don't want to introduce that to my body. I never even had it. It's just scary to me. I don't know.
Jackie, how do you suppose you avoided your entire life not getting a flu shot, not getting the flu? How in the
I don't know. It must be. I must have a very strong immune system because I have never had the flu in my life.
And be careful.
I'm so glad.
Be careful. You know, the Jewish people have a saying. It's called the Kanakahara. That's when you say, "I never got sick. I never got," and then boom. So,
but I've always said that.
Well, don't claim it, girl. Don't claim it.
Right.
I've said it for years. It hasn't happened.
But hopefully, you'll continue to be healthy and avoid it, and hopefully, this COVID-19 will not be a friend to you. But I don't know. I'm just willing to do whatever it takes to get back to some semblance of normalcy. Because this has affected so many of us in so many ways. And I just want to get past all of this and move on and just get better. So, I will take it when my group comes up, and I'm not sure which group I'm going to apply myself to.
Are you in the trial?
I'm sorry?
Are you in the trial?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
When your group comes up, so I was confused.
Oh, no, because I do have an underlying situation.
Okay, understood.
No. I have a respiratory ailment.
Okay, gotcha.
That I don't, so when I come up,
Teri, don't take that shit. We not coming to your funeral, yo.
You won't come. You have to see it on Zoom. You see why we have to get better quick, so. But the thing is, just so you guys know, and I know you know by now, we don't have so they do have they have the one they have the AstraZeneca, they have the Moderna, and they have the Pfizer vaccine. We won't have a choice as to which one we get. Whichever one comes to our neighborhood, that's the one we're going to be getting. Now, in Russia, they have something called Sputnik. From where I come from, Sputnik ain't nothing good. Nothing good is going to come out of anything called Sputnik. So
no, it wasn't bad. But Sputnik, that was the first, rocket that made it to the moon.
I don't know. That's Russia. Russia's vaccine is called Sputnik.
Russia could do whatever they want to do. I ain't got nothing to do with them.
I'm trying to beat the punch, but I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. And no, it's not going to take Obama and Bush and the other president to go and take it in front of our eyes. It's not going to take that. Their immune systems are all of our immune systems are very different. I don't know what is the chemical makeup of a person that's going to die from COVID, or the one that's not going to die from COVID. So we, you know what I mean? So the risk is different for everybody. And I get it. Nobody wants to take that chance on getting it. But I think that we have to figure out, well, then how else? Because that, to me, then that's herd immunity in reverse. If we all get the virus, if we all get the vaccine, that's herd immunity in reverse. So we all have it. So it's going to be difficult. We all have the vaccine in us. So it'd be difficult for this thing to jump from person to person. I just think that we need to get to a place where we're going to have to figure out, we have to get it.
I'm going to have to do a lot of reading and research and just sit back analyzing and praying on it, because I think, for instance, I was taking metformin at one point, and this was for I was pre-diabetic, and they gave me this, and I was taking this stuff, but I found that I would have to pull over and just, sleep. And they didn't tell me that was a side effect, but I was like, something's wrong with me. Why am I so tired? Or I would get up and I'd walk, but I'd bump into a wall because my bearings were all just out of sort. And then I stopped. I was like, screw this, I'm not taking this. And then I read that they had this lawsuit, for people who took metformin and had certain side effects. And so now there's this class action lawsuit, with this medication. So, so I'm just like, well, I had stopped taking it before, like long enough ago for it not to affect me the way that it affected other people. But just to know, like, that was a solid, prescription that all of the doctors were recommending, and we were taking it like cattle, just following along, doing whatever they said. And then now all these people, ended up having, strokes and, all this other stuff. So, that's just a fear that I have. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's what
I kind of had a similar thing as well. There's a medication that I took when I was in high school. I was having severe headaches, and I took one tablet. I was prescribed by the doctor. I took one tablet, passed out, whatever. They took me to the hospital, pumped my stomach. They thought I had OD'd, but my mom had taken the pill box and realized that I had only taken one. So anyway, I'm come to find out I'm allergic to it. But since then, I've told all of my, doctors, it's on my form, that I'm allergic to this medication. Well, apparently, one of the doctors said, well, they took this off the market years ago, and this was they said this is it was a horrible, horrible medication, and they took it off the market years ago. And it's like, oh, wow, nice to hear that. But so I don't know. I just think, I don't know. Medicine is not an exact science. It's all still kind of trial and error. And you just have to kind of, just hope that they get the trials right, you know what I mean? And less error. And I think, we'll be ready to take the vaccine, when it's time, but I'm just not going to be first in line.
Right. Correct. Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
But I will take it.
Yeah.
Just not first.
Yeah. I'll see y'all in 2023. All right. And that's when I'll take it.
That's is anybody else completely is anybody else a definite no, they won't take it? Is anybody besides Leora?
No, I'm not a definite no. It's okay. I just said 2023. I'll see y'all then. That's all. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, I don't know. I may have to lead the charge on this one because I just want to get back. I just want to get, I just want to know that we're good. And it's such a damn shame that here we are now, never even imagining being in this position. And, we took so much for granted. I feel like, how cocky were we? How dare us? Just, we just took so much for granted. And I still think that we have enough space. We're still in a space where we can figure out what the hell we have to rethink some things. I don't think it's too late to reevaluate our lives and where we are and, how close are we to our goals? What if tomorrow was my day to get COVID and die? You know what I'm saying? What have I done up to now? What good stuff have I put into the world? And I think it's something that we all need to think about. What are we doing? Because
speaking of stuff that you put into the world, I think with our next topic,
yes,
we can definitely talk about that.
Yes.
Okay, so the next topic.
I'll start it off. So here, I hate talking about celebrities and entertainment news and all that crap because I'm in a whole, this year I've been on a canceled celebrity tour. I just didn't get a sponsor yet. That's why y'all don't hear about it. But but so I'm sure everybody heard about Lisa Ray. With they were on this whatever their show is called, the Queens of something like this.
Queens of
or something. Oh yeah, yeah.
Cocktails. Queens of Cocktails.
Cocktails with Queens or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So
yeah.
So which is cool. Whatever. I'm looking at the panel. And I'm like, okay. But then, like, so I don't know. I guess like a couple of weeks ago when she brought up sex, and then the topic turned to sex, and she just decided that she was going to spread this hearsay or gossip about what she heard about Halle Berry's sexual prowess, if you will. And I just thought,
like,
what?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, y'all are a group of women, and I'll say Black women. What are you gaining by putting down or trying to put down another Black successful woman? Like, what was the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why she felt the need to spread that, knowing that they do have a reach, they do have an audience, and Halle Berry is sort of our, little golden child, for the community. So what was your purpose? What was your end game with that?
Yeah,
It annoyed me, and it actually pissed me off, and I lost. I admit I matter to her or to anybody else on the planet, but like I don't respect any woman who does that to another woman, especially public figures. That's whack.
Right. That is completely whack. And in answer to you, I think the reason why, first of all, Halle Berry is Hollywood royalty. Whether or not you're saying it is what it is, she's Hollywood royalty. And I think the reason they did that now, Queens of Cocktails, Vivica Fox, Claudia Jordan,
Selena Johnson,
and there's another lady. Now,
I think it was just 4 of them.
It's 4. Now I don't know where they fell out from. I don't know where they fell out.
Who are the 4?
Vivica Fox, Claudia Jordan, Selena. What'd you say, Johnson,
and Lisa Ray.
And Lisa Ray, right? Oh, okay. I don't know if these are like the favorites in Hollywood. I don't freaking know. I don't keep up with it. But what I do know is that we do know Halle Berry is considered Hollywood royalty and one of the most beautiful women in the world, depending on whoever is.
She was definitely voted that one year on somebody's.
She was voted that. So here it is. And this is, and ladies, we talked about this from the very first show. We talked about how we are as Black women. And that's one of the reasons why we even gathered in this way to talk about these topics. I think what they were trying to do, and it's a damn shame, and it's embarrassing actually, is to take something away from Halle Berry. If you're talking about a woman who is somewhat perfection, according to a lot of people, you just want to chip away at that so you can feel better about yourself. I think you're talking about something very personal. You've never had sex with Halle Berry. You've never been in the same room in some intimate situation with her. Like,
no, and you know what? Probably never been in the same room with her.
Probably never even been in the same room with her. Certainly, so I'm just saying, like, why would you even comment on that ever? Even if you heard this rumor, and I've heard the rumor, because what they said is that, however we saw her acting in the Monsters Ball, that movie, The Monsters Ball, that's how she was in real life in the bedroom. Who could know that except whoever the was?
And why do we care?
Exactly.
And further to that, we all know that sex, we could have sex with 10 different men, and 10 different men you're going to feel differently with. So there's different chemistry, so whoever this man was who started this room in the first place, maybe Halle dissed him. Maybe she wanted nothing more to do with him. Who knows what it is? It's a vicious rumor, and it's a damn shame that it's something so personal. But for other women to jump in, and not one of those 4 women jumped in to say, wait, you know what, guys?
I know. But you know what?
Like, no, yeah, that they all.
Yeah, I never even heard the rumor, but when I was looking at the clip, they were talking. This is how it all started. They were talking about Toni Braxton. They were saying that, I think it was Claudia Jordan. She made the comment that Toni Braxton, she's had a lot of good-looking men, She dated a lot of good-looking men, but she's lost a lot of good-looking men. And then Lisa Ray comes and jumps in and says, well, yeah, even Halle Berry had lost some too. And that's when she's talking about, the sex and, her sexual skills aren't trash or whatever.
I forgot she
But
lost the whole
she was
prince
taking
or
a
something
big.
like that. She lost the whole king or whatever the hell.
Exactly. She lost her husband
To the
too.
106 Park girl and whoever else it was.
And not only
Exactly.
that, who's to say she lost anything? Maybe she dumped the dude who was deadbeat.
Exactly.
She didn't want. Maybe she dumped him. Like,
right. But Lisa Ray is the last person to even talk about losing any relationship. With
Right.
the thing with her husband and any other man that she's been with, and she's a D-list actress at best.
perfect.
So she can't even come at Halle with anything. What awards has she won? What has she done?
What did she
to
do?
make her think that she's
Well,
better than
Diamond,
somebody else?
come on. She was Diamond in the strippers club.
Yeah, the Players Club or whatever, these little happy little movies that she's done. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe she's jealous. Who knows of somebody else's
and it's so corny because I actually like her, and and I like Vivica Fox, and I'm surprised that Vivica didn't chime in and say something.
Yeah,
I was really disappointed that she didn't do something like that. But I think that's just that whole female negative mentality, because it's like, when I don't know what it is, but it's like whenever a woman sees another woman walk toward her, black women, we talked about that. Well, y'all talked about that a few months ago when this show first started. Like, you can't even look each other in the eye and smile and say hi. You got to start each other up first, and see if they're your competition. But it's like, what are we competing for?
Exactly.
Right.
I can testify on that. I can testify on that. It's horrific, like, especially on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was talking to Teri about this earlier, about how I had a mutual work friend that we worked with, and she was I thought she was my friend. And one day we were everyone was in this conference room, and we were having technical issues, and she's part of the tech team. So I just looked around, like, casually. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, where's IT? And so I found out this person went back and said, oh, well, Leora, she kind of like called me out, like looked directly at me concerning this IT issue. And I'm like, well, I didn't call you out. I was like, I didn't even notice you were really there. I was like, I just said, where's IT? So either she lied or she really thought I shaded her. And that was the hurtful thing, because I then found out that she was like, oh, well, I can't hang out with Leora because she's, younger than me. And I'm like, well, where's the competition? I'm like, I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm no Beyonce or wherever. Like, I'm just trying to be friends. Like, all I did was invite you out for drinks. So, like, I can't stand the whole competitive mindset. I can't stand it. It's so stupid.
And it's so crazy because, like, I just am still trying to figure out what it is that we're competing for.
Exactly.
And
I have no idea.
We don't even roll in the same. We don't run in the same circle.
Right.
We're not friends, and that's why. I know, Teri, you and I were talking about that the other night about women, adult women, and friends, and like how as we get older, our friend circle gets smaller. And for me, I think it's because, I mean, I still have the same amount of friends, but we're all distant, and we keep it that way, And I think it's because I don't want to be up in anybody's face, and I don't want a whole bunch of people in mine. And I think it works out better that way, because then it's like, I'm not going to give you enough to feel like you need to compete with me, because I'm not, I'm not a competitive person. I'll stop. I'll give up. Here, you win. You got it.
Yes.
You're the cutest one. You're the slimmest. You're the prettiest. You're the most successful. Go do your thing, baby. Do your thing, and I'll let you have it.
Here's what I'll say, and hopefully this is advice for a lot of women. It's like, one thing I learned early on, and I figured it out on my own. Then I heard an expert say it. My favorite person in the world was Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he write motivational books and this sort of thing. And these are things I already knew in my young mind. And when I read his book, it kind of cemented what I was thinking. It made me know that I was validated. Is that don't get caught up in the comparison trap. Mm-hmm. Don't get caught up in the comparison trap, because it will make you freaking crazy. There's always going to be a woman more beautiful. There's always going to be a woman sexier. There's always going to be a woman making more money, a better body, a better career, a better husband, a better whatever you want to listen. So what I say is that you could take, and I'm going to just hypothetically speaking, obviously, take a piece of paper, draw a line straight down the middle, and put my name, Teri Denine, and then put, I don't know, say Oprah Winfrey next to that. Let's say Michelle Obama. I like her better. Let's say Michelle Obama. And so now you begin to list all of my attributes. And then you begin to list all of her attributes. Who knows? What if my list is longer than Michelle Obama's based on the things we listed? Or maybe hers could be like who gives a fuck? The thing is that we all have great things to contribute to this world. We were all born with gifts, whether or not we use them. We all have something to contribute, and there's a big enough pie for all of us to eat. We could all make money. We could carve out whatever in this life we decide to carve out. It's up to us. Right. And ain't no damn body gonna be better than me in my head than me. So let's keep it that way and keep it at that level. And we look again about this pandemic. If we haven't learned anything else about this, it's like we need to be lifting each other up. I would love for nothing else than to have investment groups going, building generational wealth for ourselves, setting up a business, maybe a shell company, just to prove to ourselves that we can create something from nothing. It's just unlimited what we can do with the power of our minds, and then just us owning ourselves, our own spirits, our own abilities, everything that we are, everything God gave us. And He put us all right next to each other so we could all march along and do our thing. It's not to reach over and try to knock me off my path, or me to reach over and knock you off your path. We all can walk together. My God, how beautiful would that be? I could cry right now. I could cry, but it's so simple. It's so simple, And I think that at the end of the day, all God wants us to do is be kind, to share, give back, reach out, and to help. That's it. That's easy. It won't cost us a dime.
Yeah, if we all just get out of our own way, you could do amazing things. Just get out of your own way. And so many people are caught up with like their past or their history or their relationships or, whatever other nonsense you could think of as an excuse. But if you I think if you set your mind to what it is you're going to do, you're going to do it. So if you set your mind, like us 5 women are going to do this and grow this and build that, you can do that. But if we go in and say, no, it's not going to work as 5 Black women, it's never going to work. You know what I mean? Like I think if you operate from a position of yes, you can do anything. But when you start with all of the doubts and concerns, you're going to fail. So you may as well not even start.
Exactly. And who wants to be on the losing end of anything? I don't want to be a part of any losing team. I want to be a contributor to anything that's good that's happening in this life, any opportunity that I have where I can just go jump in and contribute something and get a positive result, or give somebody something, raise somebody up, give somebody a way to think, give somebody a way to, whatever it is that I can do that's good, that's all I want to do. And I want to share this, and this is not to sound corny or anything like that, but honest to God, like if you know me, like most of you guys do know me, I generally get what I want. And I think that I get it because I just have an attitude where I don't, and I'm going to say this, it's going to sound a little vulgar, but I'm going to say it like, I literally have an attitude where I don't give a fuck about all the noise around me. I just think about me, because when I make myself strong, then I can make you strong. You know what I mean? When I get past my idiosyncrasies, my weaknesses, my negative ways, or whatever it is. And, I know there's no perfect people in the world. I know this, but I swear to you, I promise you, I try to be closer to perfection every day. It's me working on me, but it's all me doing for me so I can do for everybody else. Like strangers that I have yet to meet, some people that I never will meet, but if I can put something out there, even if it's an energy, if it's a positive thought, if it's money, whatever it is, I'm all for it. I'm there for all of that. That's all I got.
Amen to that.
Anybody, any closing remarks? Anybody want to share some positive, what do you call those words? Positive words. Any thoughts, Lene?
I have one of my, I love, of course, I'm sure we all do, Maya Angelou. And one of her quotes, I'm always like memorizing her quotes. I think she was just an amazing woman. But she said, one of her quotes one of my favorite quotes of hers was, "Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud."
Oh.
And I just think with the world the way it is now, or at least this country, everybody's thinking about themselves. I just think it's time for us to change that and turn that around and start thinking about, someone else. And I just think that's like, I don't know, I just think it's appropriate right now, with the season and with the time and everything. And like I said, I just love her, and I just think it's a nice quote.
Yeah.
I like it.
One of my favorites.
I like it.
I have to say, with Lene, it's been a tough year for a lot of people, and you have to be mindful. Even if you're just in the grocery store, you don't know who's lost somebody. You don't know who's going through what. So just be kind. Not just because it's a certain season, but just be kind. You know what I mean? Be a little more patient with that person in front of you with the slow cart. Just little things. Be kind.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. And can you imagine if every person took that, just like this is so corny, but like just being like the man in the mirror, like looking at yourself and make the change in yourself. If every single person did that, could you imagine just how much change could actually happen?
Exactly.
If every single person just look at yourself and make those changes, it would be so much better.
And that speaks exactly to what I was saying earlier. Like I like, listen, I am nobody's perfect person. I'm far from it. God knows, but I try my best to be my best every day. Like
because you want to make the world a better place, you better look at yourself and make that change.
Like seriously. For once in my life.
We all need microphones now.
Oh, I got my microphone. What y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to do harmony or what?
Oh my God.
Let's go. So with that, if anybody else, anyone leave us with some positive, some final thought,
Well, I just think this was a great show. I think that we covered a lot of topics. Of course, we, along with everybody else who's watching us out there, have their opinions, but hopefully, we just kind of could shed a little light. I would love if some of the people watching the show could send us a message saying that they want to come on and be a special guest, because, people have opinions, and I love to hear one thing I'd love is to hear other people's opinions, because I know I have a big mouth, but I have a big mouth because I listen to other people, and sometimes I take
No, not you, Pam.
Yeah, right. But it would be great to have some of the viewers who are out there just be a part of the show also.
Yeah, we like to hear from you guys. If you like what you hear from us and you feel like you have something to contribute, then feel free. Send us a message. We'll get you on right away. That would be great, actually. We'd love that. Thumbs up to that. So with that being said, everybody, that is our show. Thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. We hope that you all have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Next week, same time, same bat channel.
Cheers.
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 Heard you get into it, well, let's talk about it. All day in the bank, let's talk about it. Spend a few checks, talking cheap change, well, let's